For me, it's always been, I mean, I'm more of a musician than a writer, I guess, so I always kind of lean towards the musicians, guys that are out there really playing their instruments well, and that spend time working on it and, learn more than three chords and then, spend a little time on the woodshed. So that's always been real for me. I grew up listening to a lot of the old stuff, Bob Wills and, you name it, all those the old stuff, the honky-tonk stuff is what I really dug. And I listened, my dad had a band, so we always kind of were on the road with him. And so that was, I don't know, real music is such a wide range, it's, it covers every genre. I think, like I said, I think it's just anybody that spends the time to work on it and get good at it. Man, there's a bunch of new bands out there right now that are really great. First one that comes to mind is Jason Eady. I'm sure you've heard his stuff. He's a great songwriter, great singer, really kind of cool story. Got into it later in life, but just took to it. He's just such a natural, so he's supposed to be doing this. I really like the Trishes have a great new record. There's a band called the Green Cards. They been around. I first saw them with Hayes Carl, who's another good buddy of ours, and I think just a great songwriter. But I first saw the Green Cards backing up Hayes Carl when I first went to see Hayes Carl, so I kind of got 2 for 1 there. What's the Turnpike Troubadours? I think are great. They're killing it right now, doing really, really good stuff. Like I said, there's a ton. There's so much music out there right now. It's really hard to even keep up with. There's so many bands and so many good things going on in Texas right now. So I don't know. That's a handful. There's some older guys in Austin that I don't know. It's funny because I kind of take it for granted. I get to go see them all the time, but like Alejandro Escovedo and John D. Graham and there's a group down there in Austin that plays every so often. The Resentments. It's kind of a bunch of people. Stephen Bruton used to play with him before he passed away, and just kind of the upper notch of Austin musicians. It's kind of a super group that plays at the Saxon Pub. So yeah, I kind of like the stuff that's outside the box and underground a little bit. Bob Wills was just kind of started out playing. Faded Love was one of the first songs I ever learned. And just people that I met growing up, and like I said, my dad was in a band, and we were lucky enough to get to hang out at a lot of jam sessions at different festivals and stuff, and stay up a lot later than we should have, and get to play with guys you probably would never know. There was an old fiddle player named Billy Beeman that kind of took me under his wing, and I went out to California and spent some time with him a few different times, and would run into him at different festivals, and we'd stay up, all night long playing fiddles. And Woody Paul from Riders in the Sky was another guy that really influenced me a lot. And then Teddy Ray Jones was another fiddle player up in Idaho, played for Pinto Bennett, the famous Motel Cowboys. So a lot of just kind of hands-on stuff. That's really, I never really had any strict lessons. Those were the only lessons I got were at jam sessions when they'd go, take one, Cody, and so you learn pretty quick when the spotlight's on you. It's like, hey, play. So probably, like I said, just kind of some of those older guys that I got to grow up around.